Let's do some warm-ups and see what happens from there. Just spreading your toes, ankle, knee, hip, shoulder lined up. Activate your core, so ribs toward your spine and up, lengthening through the top of your head. Relax your arms. Take a few moments to breathe, drawing in energy, exhaling stress. And just take a few moments to get into that yoga frame of reference. Spread your toes, stretch your spine. And on an inhalation, bring your arms to shoulder level for our warm-ups. Exhale, hands to your heart, stretch to the front, and clasp your hands behind you. Press the fingers to the floor and lift your heart, stretch your head back, and then pivot at your hips coming over. Take a few moments there, breathing. Move your chin around, let your neck release. Hands toward your head, sitting bones toward the ceiling. Let everything stretch. And then bend your knees slightly, tuck in your chin just a little bit as you come back all the way up and lift your heart. So keep the shoulders down, away from your ears, and stretch your head back. And on an inhalation, come up, releasing your arms and just noticing how your body responds today. And again, arms at shoulder level, hands to your chest, stretch to the front, and clasp your hands the opposite way behind you. Press them down, stretch your head back, and pivot over. And again, just let that back get a good stretch as you pivot forward and lift, straightening your legs. Bend your knees then, and work your way back up. Lift your heart one more time, stretch your head back, but don't lift your chin too high. Stretch your neck along with your spine. And then inhale upright, release your arms, and take a moment feeling what's going on for you today. Side stretches, so let's bring both arms out, palms to the ceiling, hands above your head, clasping them. And bring your arms next to your ears, sitting bones down. Stretch your head up and lean, no twist, over to the side. So let those ribs stretch apart as you laterally move the spine. Push the foot down you're leaning away from for that extra opening. And then inhale back up, keep the shoulders down, switch the hands so the other one's in front. Arms next to your ears for your stretch. And lean again to the opposite side. Again, maximize for your body on this side, opening the ribs. And then inhale, coming back up. Exhale your arms down. And again, just notice how things are opening a little bit more for you after that stretch. And then get those spine bones stretching apart for our twist. Arms at shoulder level, shoulders down, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders, clasp your elbows. And again, stretch the spine apart and turn to one side. Take a breath, spread your toes, and exhale over. Keep the weight on both feet as you come to one side, and just lift your sitting bones. Take a few breaths there, just relax. Keep the weight on both feet as you come back up in the twist and lift your heart. So remember, upper body only for your back bend here. Stretch the head and elbows back. And then inhale upright, exhale around to the center and switch your arms. Spread your toes, stretch your spine apart, and turn to the opposite side. And another breath. And exhale over. Take a few breaths there as you come down, keeping the weight on both feet as evenly as you can as you turn to the side. And again, work your way up in the twist and lift your heart. So upper body only for your back bend, elbows back, chest high. And then inhale upright, exhale around to the center, shoulders down, fingertips up, extended mountain. Keep your arms next to your ears, pivot forward. Take a moment there, stretch it out, everything long, and drop into ragdoll, just hanging. Pull in deep, hands behind your knee or your calves if you'd like to. Get a little extra stretch there. And then hands back to the center as you come all the way back up. Take a moment as you get back into your mountain pose and breathe. Arms out, palms to the ceiling, hands over your shoulders. Again, extended mountain, stretch it up through the crown and fingertips, but keep the shoulders down. And we'll go into our chair position. So push your sitting bones way back, bend your knees, make sure they don't go in front of your toes. Keep the sitting bones pushing back behind you and go as deeply into the chair squat as you'd like. Arms by your ears, back straight. Stretch everything. Take a moment there and then lead with your fingertips and come back up and release into mountain pose. Take a moment, breathe, stretch your spine. Work your shoulders a little bit with the backstroke and swimming, bringing the arm in close to your ear as it comes up and around and back. Feel your whole body moving, so a little massage across the shoulders and through the spine. And then again, bring both arms up, stretch high on one side, coming up on the opposite toe. Stretch that flat foot side all the way up. Get those ribs opening a little more. Come down on that side, up on the other. Again, lift the heel and push through the whole bottom of your foot on the side that's flat. And both sides down, both arms up, shoulders down. Sink evenly into your feet, spread through your toes, and another chair squat. So push those sitting bones way back behind you, just coming down. Keep the spine as straight as you can, coming all the way into your squat, as deeply as your knees want to go. Remember, personal practice, don't overwork those knees. Stretch it out. And again, lead with the fingertips coming back up and release. Take a moment again, breathing, and bring your hands together. Stretch the base of your skull up and the sitting bones down. Get that spine nice and open. Watch your fingers as you bring them toward the ceiling and a little behind you for that back bend. And then swan dive forward, arms out, pivot at the hips, stretch it out flat, and then drop into ragdoll. Hands up under your knees on your shins or halfway up, stretch everything straight. And release. Palms together, inhaling, bring your hands to your heart. Let's go all the way toward the ceiling and another little back bend. And bring your hands to your heart into mountain pose once more. Take a moment as you get there, stretch your spine, and don't forget to breathe. Let's bring the hands to the heart one more time. Inhale, coming up, another little back bend, and then come straight up and bring your arms again out to shoulder width. So extended mountain, pull your shoulders down, make sure they're not hunching up towards your ears with those shoulders. Shoulder blades, sitting bones toward the floor, activate that core, stretch those fingertips up, sink evenly into the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot on both sides. Take a breath, exhale tension, and then separate the hands a little bit out to the side, push into your balance foot, and bring the other foot slightly out to the side into that little X shape. Take a moment as you get into your balance, find it, breathe into it, exhale any tension, and come back upright into extended mountain. Again, stretch it up, take a moment, feel your body, and sink evenly into both feet. Shift to that other side And again, separating the hands a little bit, bring the foot slightly out, coming into your X balance. Take a breath, work on it, spread those toes, and come back upright. And once more, an extended mountain. Stretch up, keep those shoulders down, and stretch fingertips right above your shoulders, sink evenly into your feet, and one more squat. So come onto your chair pose, push those sitting bones way back behind you, maybe a little deeper into that squat this time. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a moment there. Exhale tension, and let's turn into a twist. So stretch the spine long, bring your elbow to the outside of the knee or turning toward the other one right above it, and stretch. Take a breath, and stretch. Exhale, turn back to the center. Release your arms back over your shoulders next to your ears, and lead with the fingertips coming back up. Exhale into mountain pose. Sorry, got me that time. And once more, sink evenly into your feet. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, hands toward the ceiling, looking up. A nice little back bend, coming straight back up. And again, into our extended mountain. Sink evenly into your feet. Stretch up through the crown and fingertips. Pull those shoulders back down, core activated. Breathe. And then again, bending into your squat. Push the sitting bones back into our chair. Keep your spine nice and straight. Stretch it out. And then once more, hands to your heart. Stretch the spine long. Make sure those knees aren't going beyond your toes. Stretching sitting bones and crown away and turning into that opposite twist. See if you can get that elbow outside the knee if that works for you. Remember, you're turning your hips, ribs, and shoulder, not just your head. Take a moment in that twist, stretch it out. Exhale, turn back to the center. And again, arms next to your ears. Stretch out in your chair, lead with your fingertips coming all the way back up, and release. And back in mountain pose once more. Take a moment, feeling your legs, feeling your body, feeling your breath. Exhale any tension. Hands to your heart. Inhale, coming all the way up, another little back bend. Swan dive forward, all the way over, and into our halfway up stretch. Palms under your shins, press it under your knees, on your shins, stretch open through your spine, and then bend your knees, coming into our child pose transition. So back hips to your heels, hands, palms up next to your feet, and forehead toward the floor. Take a few breaths, just relax and chin out. And then inhale, sitting up, and let's bring the legs out to the front to the end of the mat. So coming into staff position, activate that core, get your shoulders above your hips, reach your crown to the ceiling. Keep those sitting bones slightly behind you as you press out through your heels, pull the toes back, getting that stretch along the back of your legs. And then using your core for support, we're rolling to the mat. So just slowly come on down using that core as you come all the way onto your back. Take a moment, just a little reclined integration, relaxing everything. Exhaling tension. We're going to sitting bones toward your heels, press your back gently down, and bring your heels right next to your sitting bones. Knees straight up, remember, make sure they're not leaning out to the sides or in, but straight up. And then slide your sitting bones away toward your heels and press your whole back down. And then we'll strengthen the back a little bit, just arching up. So pull the sitting bones back toward your shoulders, shoulder blades down. So you're arched from your shoulder blades to your sitting bones with those ribs lifting, belly lifting as you breathe. And then exhale, slide the sitting bones out, press the back down, feel the core contract. And inhale, arch it up. So you can do a little or a lot. Remember, personal practice. It's really good to build the strength in that low back area with these gentle building exercises that strengthen your abs as well. Just a few times, pressing down, arching up, just following your breath, exhaling, really pulling that core down, inhaling, really reaching those ribs open. And then come back to a neutral position. Keep those feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Remember, you don't want them spreading apart. We're going to do a bridge. So palms down next to you. Press the sitting bones down towards your heels. Press the back all the way down. Feel that core working. And then inhaling, lift the hip bones up and come into your bridge. So make sure those knees aren't spreading apart or caving in, and clasp your hands underneath. Get that one little finger inside and work up onto your shoulders. So your head is on the floor, not your neck. Your shoulders are supporting you along with your arms and hands and feet. Make sure those knees aren't spreading apart. Lift the hips maybe a little bit more. Just feel your bridge. Breathe into it. Maximize letting that spine support you. And don't forget to breathe. And then release your hands, your shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Everything back down to the floor. Feel that energy through your whole body. And of course, we're going to clasp the hands underneath, opposite way this time. So once again, exhale, press the sitting bones towards your heels, core coming down, and then inhale, lifting those hip bones straight up. Check your knees, make sure that they're still straight, and clasp the other finger inside this time underneath you. Work up onto your shoulders a little bit more, lift those hips maybe a little bit higher, and don't forget to breathe. Ribs going up. Make sure your neck isn't working too hard. You want to make sure your shoulders, not your neck, supports you. Take a breath, check your knees, lift your hips. Take a few moments of breathing and working into your position. And when you're ready to release, hands down, shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. As you get all the way back down, just feel what your body is telling you as you get into that neutral position. And we're going to do a few little additions. So we're going to go up into our bridge just like we just did, and then we're going to add some leg work to it. So if that's too much for you, remember, personal practice, go only where your body needs to go. Sitting bones toward your heels, press it down, and inhale those ribs up. Knees hip width apart, press evenly into your feet, clasp your hands underneath you, come up onto your shoulders for good support. Make sure that neck isn't compromised and those knees are straight up. Take a moment there and then lift one foot and straighten that leg so that the thighs are parallel to each other. Keep hip bones going up evenly. Stretch it out through the base of those toes that are lifted. Press the arms, hands, and foot into the floor. And then bring your foot back down, straighten it out. Lift your hips maybe a little more as you release your hands, shoulders, shoulder blades, and spine. Take a breath. Let everything relax for a moment as you breathe. And of course, we have to do that, with the other leg. So at the same time, we're going to do the opposite little finger inside. so that you can keep those hands working evenly as well. Hands palms down, sitting bones toward your heels, knees hip width apart, feet pressing down. Exhale the spine to the floor. Inhale the hip bones up. So as you come into your bridge, clasp your hands, other finger inside, working onto your shoulders, only as high as you want to go into your bridge. Check those knees, make sure nothing is spreading out or collapsing in, and those hips are going straight up evenly. Press into your arms, shoulders, and feet, and then lift that opposite leg so that the thighs are sort of parallel at least. Hip bones up, keep them rising toward the ceiling, don't let one side sink. And again, breathe, stretch it out. Hip bones up, shoulders, arms, foot supporting you. And then release that other foot. Press up through the hips, release your hands, shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a breath. Soften that belly. Let everything release and relax as you get back down into your neutral position. And we're going to go one step further, if you want to, into our bridges. So again, take a moment there. Relax those shoulders down, sitting bones toward your heels, press back all the way into the floor. Inhale and bring your hips up. Make sure those knees are still hip width apart. Don't let them collapse on you, either direction. Clasp your hands under. Make sure that your arms are supporting you onto your shoulders. Lift your hips and release. Take a breath there. Make sure those knees aren't spreading apart. Sink evenly into your feet. And then bring one leg up parallel to the other. And either stay there, lifting both hips up evenly, or bring the foot up toward the ceiling straight as you can. And make sure that those hips both stay up evenly as you do that. Take a moment there, stretch it out. And then lowering the leg back parallel, bend the foot back to the floor. And again, lift the hips, release the hands, release the shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Exhale any tension as you get back onto the mat. Take a few breaths, just relax. Make sure those knees are staying hip width apart as we get ready for our next side. So again, sitting bones down toward your heels, back pressing into the mat, knees hip width apart. Inhale, hips up toward the ceiling. Clasp your hands under you with that other finger inside. Work up onto your shoulders and lift your hips. Check to make sure that everything is supported correctly, evenly, and make sure your head, not your neck, is on the floor. And then again, lift that other leg parallel. Stay there, lifting both hips, or again, rotate that leg up toward the ceiling as you extend through the base of your toes. Make sure the foot that's on the floor knee isn't trying to spread out. Lift both hips. Lift the ribs evenly. Bring the leg back parallel. Bend the knee, foot to the floor. Keep those hips up and release the hands, shoulders, shoulder blades, ribs, and spine. Take a moment to breathe. Exhale any tension and maybe draw those knees up toward your heart. A little massage around that low back area after all those bridges. Take a breath, tension out. And then bringing your feet back to the floor, slide the legs out and bring the arms to T position. Straight palms up from your shoulders. Take a moment to get everything situated. Press your sitting bones slightly towards your heels. Press your back down. Either bend your knee, right knee, and bring the foot to the ceiling, or keep the legs straight as you bring it up. And we're doing a twist. So keep your head on the floor as you roll all the way to the left side. Foot to the floor, hands together in front of you, coming all the way onto your left side. Hold your foot with your hand if you can, or else hold the leg wherever you can, and bring your right hand to the ceiling. Palm open toward the ceiling as you lower that hand right at shoulder level, so not up toward your head or down toward your foot, but straight back to keep that heart open. And just move into the twist as much as you'd like. So the more you hold your foot and push it away, the more your low back is in the twist. So be gentle there if you need to. Turn your head for your neck area twist. Remember, don't overdo your neck if you've got issues there. And just like gravity, pull your hand toward the floor as much as it wants for your middle back twist. It may not make it, that's okay. Just go as far as your body is ready to go. Take a few breaths in your twist, exhaling tension, and that releases ligaments along your spine. It may deepen your twist as you're ready, but remember, never force a twist. Take a breath, just relax. And of course, you want to hold twists on your own longer, but for now, let go of that leg, roll onto your back, and lead with your heel, with the leg as straight as you can, coming all the way back down, using that core for support, back to the mat. And of course, we have to balance and do the other twist. So sitting bones towards your heels, and the left leg coming up either straight or bending first, your choice. Again, as you roll to the side, make sure your head doesn't come up off the floor. You don't want to overwork that neck. Foot to the floor, hold your foot if you can, otherwise, wherever. Straighten the knee as much as you can as well, but don't overdo it. Palm to the ceiling on that left hand as you lower it behind you, right at shoulder level, remember, not down or up, but straight back so that heart stays nice and open as you twist. The hand may not make it to the floor, maybe one side does and the other one doesn't, don't worry, just do what is working for your body. Take a breath. Exhale and release any tension. Maybe deepen if that works for you. Remember, the lower back is in the twist more if you hold the foot and push it away. But if you don't do that, that's okay. Do what's right for your low back. And of course, your neck area twist is only as deep as your neck is willing and able to do. Take a breath or two as you're in your twist, letting your twist maximize or minimize whatever your body needs today. Remember, each day is different. Do your personal practice at this moment, not anticipating what worked or didn't work before. Just let it happen at its own pace. And of course, to release, rolling onto your back, bring that foot straight up and press the back gently down as you lead, using your core for support to lower the leg back to the mat. When it gets there, just straighten things out, coming into your horse position for relaxation. Take a breath. Exhale tension. Just let your body soften and sink. Lots of work through that spine today. So let that belly soften, the whole core relax. Everything in your torso just deepening into the earth support. Roll your head side to side, let your shoulders and back release. Toes toward each other, relaxing the legs. Maybe circle the ankles. And let your body go. As your body relaxes completely into that earth support, allow thoughts of your body to release from your awareness. Remember, it's the job of your mind to produce thoughts. It's your choice whether you pay attention. So let the thoughts drift away without awareness, disappearing as easily as your breath. And let your thoughts release and your body relax, and your awareness turn inward to the peace within. Let the past and future release from your thinking. Let your body just relax completely and take a few moments focusing on the peace within, breathing, being peace. If that relaxation is feeling good today, keep relaxing as long as you have a chance. If it's time to get ready for the rest of your day, bring energy and awareness with the breath back to the moment, to the room, to your body. Breathe deeply and stretch completely as you're ready to do so. And of course, when you're ready for your final yoga hug of appreciation, sitting bones toward your heels, heels toward your hips, and knees up toward your heart. Wrap your arms around, give yourself that appreciative yoga hug. Let your body know you appreciate its yoga work today and the work your body does for you every day. And then heading feet to the floor, roll over to the side and sit back up, getting ready for whatever's ahead for you today. Thanks for joining me.